welcome to another episode of Toro Podcast.
We're back.
We're back. We had a good workout, well needed after the endless eating of what is Thanksgiving in the United States here.
That's where it counts. Like you're allowed to gorge yourself on Thanksgiving as long as you exercise the next day.
Dude, yeah, the next day I definitely hit the gym and I was like working out. Like, I'm like, I can't. It's ridiculous. I see food in my fridge and I'm eating it like I want it to disappear.
It has to go. It all
It has to go. And somehow it has to go down the hatch.
You can't throw it away.
You can't just throw it
Not
away.
allowed.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
It's so much food, man.
Yeah.
I tell myself every year I shouldn't do that much,
Mm-hmm.
and I end up doing a lot again.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made 4 packs of like mac and cheese, and it's ridiculous amount because I should have gotten away with 1 pack.
Right.
But at the same time, I never want somebody to be like, oh, we ran out of that. Like that's my fear, and I think my wife is in the same boat. We have a fear of like hosting, and people saying, "Oh, there wasn't enough food for me" or something like that.
So you give
So
out
you
tablespoon.
overdo it.
You give out tablespoon versions.
You say that.
You
I
only
know someone. I know someone who, when they go to their spouse's family house,
Uh-huh.
the lady does not like leftovers. So every year she makes just enough so people will take the right amount of portion and there will be nothing left. And the brother-in-law has no filter and would just be like, well, I guess we'll hit up the pizza shop on the way home because we didn't eat enough, like it's hilarious. But
Perfectly planned portion sizes.
perfectly planned, but like to the point there is not enough. and she doesn't care. Like she's like, yeah, I'm hosting it, but there's not going to be enough food for everybody.
Yeah, and the electricity goes out.
I moved to like rechargeable battery, and behind you there's like a wall full of like rechargers, for the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that the things that I put the batteries on are things that will never run out, like a remote for a TV. Like once in 10 years, do you have to change the batteries on the remote on the TV? And so therefore, like, it's just sitting there, and then like the stuff that needs batteries are just, need to buy more batteries in order to use them.
The remote usually goes bad before the batteries do.
Yeah.
It
It gets
happens every time.
smashed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I got lucky when we moved to this house. The previous owner had the same TV as me, hanging on same size, same everything, and they forgot the remote for the TV, so now I have
man.
2
You
remotes
could do
for
the
my
same
TV.
thing.
I think Piero might be calling us soon, so maybe not.
He's at his mom's house
Oh, okay.
taking down a huge oak tree, and he'll have some drone footage.
Sure.
Tree coming
Does he
down.
think he has Paul Bunyan?
Is he Paul Bunyan? Pierre, are you Paul Bunyan? He takes down oak trees all the time. He took down like 1 or 2 at his house. He was like, "Yo, do you need some wood?" I was like, "No." I was like, "There's plenty everywhere. I don't need any wood, firewood. Cut it up." He's like, "It's in big, big like."
I mean, I don't mean to stereotype here, but that's what he means by take down trees. Does he mean like go hire somebody to take down trees?
No, like climb up it and saw the top branches off, then timber that John down. Like he does. He cuts the whole thing down. I think the one in his yard was like 40, 50 foot. He took that down. He's like, I'm not paying someone to take that down. I
I'm
was
impressed.
like,
I must admit, like
impressed
my
too.
respect for him just went up a little bit more. I've done that in past lives, and
it's no joke. It's like
It's
landscaping. It's one of the
not. It's
hardest
not.
jobs you can do.
one time I had what kind of tree was it? I think it was a poplar. So it's not that thick, and it was about 25 foot. And I went up the tree, tied it off, had somebody else underneath it, and it was next to the house. So, and leaning into the house. So I was like, when I cut this off, you're going to pull it so this way it falls towards you and doesn't, like, and doesn't hit the house. And perfectly cut it. But as soon as I cut it, the whole tree just started like swaying back and forth. and I'm at the top, like holding on to dear life, so I don't fall. And that was when I was like, maybe I'll just hire somebody next time. But that was actually somebody hiring me to do that. Like,
Right, yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, no, I too. So I was in my yard this summer, and I have this pin oak, and the branches, they fall off pin oaks all the time. And one was a really large branch was hanging on by a thread, and it was too high. I would have to get the ladder out, cut it, let it fall. My wife's like, hey, if you just pull, because it was like I could reach it. She's like, if you could just pull on that branch, I bet it would fall down. So I didn't quite understand. She meant go to the other side of the tree and pull on it so the branch hits the side of the tree that you're not on and let it fall. Instead, I went up to it and pulled on it because I was tall and could reach it. And it landed on my head. It took me out. Like, I went down I was on the ground.
Explains a lot.
Yeah. I think my dogs came over, like the golden retriever came over. He like had every toy like on me. He was laying on my chest. I was like, get off, dude. He's big.
Yeah.
So I like, act and think second.
I had these ramps to go up the pickup truck, so I can like move like a snow blower or whatever, and it wasn't secured on, and I went up. The snow blower went in, and the ramps kicked out from underneath me, and I just went whoop, like back of my head. I'm like, ugh, like what happened, like. And my dad and somebody else just standing over me like, you okay? You okay? And it's just like one of those where you faintly hear somebody talking to you. It's like, it's like, what just happened? It's like, I got knocked out.
Yeah. And you know what? That reminds me of my fun snow. Like, so I used to believe for a long time that you couldn't really get hurt if the snow was thick enough, right? You could have a pretty long fall and be okay. It was like a cushion, which is not true. I learned the hard way. It's not true, and I didn't even believe it after the first time. Yeah, don't try this at home. So I went to this like big mountain. We used to mountain bike up in Jersey, and we were going to go sledding. And I was like a teen. I was like 16, 17 at the time. So we like got like our sleds out, and we had like the metal, like, pan sled. Yeah. And we greased the bottom of that thing up, to make it go faster. And we made this ramp. So it was a short hill. It was a steep short hill, but you gained like 10, 15 miles an hour. And then it was just a vertical ramp of snow. And they were like, you won't do it. And I was like, it's snowing. It's fine, guys. And they were like, go ahead then. So I climb up to the top of this thing, and I get on my sled, and I go for it. And let me tell you, first thing that happened, I was 15 feet in the air, and I lost the sled. That's the first thing that happened. It was comical. I was like, my arms and legs were flailing. I was kicking in the air, and I just landed flat on my back. And the snow was not a cushion.
No.
It hurt really bad.
Just like water.
It was just like clean cement. Like, it was terrible,
Clean
man.
cement.
Man, I like knocked the wind out of me. Everyone was cracking. No one helped me. They were pointing and laughing.
Dude, it sucks. Getting the neck. That just sucks, man. Like when you get hurt like that, it's like, oh crap. Like,
Yeah.
like well that's not supposed to feel that way.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way at all.
No.
So, and that's what. So even in my house, like when someone trips, it's well known that we will laugh at you for falling down. Right?
That's just mean.
It is mean. It is. So first we make sure you're not hurt. After that, the laughter can begin because it's funny to watch someone trip and fall. But so, this one time, my wife, she's the one who started the laughing when you fall. So my mom, like 7 years ago, was walking up to our house, and she like tripped on the curb, and she like lightly kind of fell onto the ground. And my friend out there to take a picture of her, then pick her up and ask her. She was like, she, cursing at us. But she was cracking up there. My mom's cool. My mom's cool.
One time, I used to, my dad took me to school, and I went outside, start the car to get it warm up, and just sit there and wait for my dad. And then my dad came down, and I'm watching him on the rearview mirror, and I look over somewhere else. I look again in the rearview mirror, and he's not there. And I'm like,
where'd you go?
Where did he go? Turns out when he was coming down, he slipped on ice or snow, whatever, mostly ice, and just like hit every step. You know how like the old Phillies houses, right? They had that step going down the driveway or the walkway to the house, and he slipped and hit his rib every step. It's like poof, poof, poof. Took me to school. Then I come to find out he went to the hospital afterwards. And they took x-ray and all that stuff. Luckily it wasn't broken, but like he was hurt.
Rib injuries
And
are
I
no
was
joke,
like,
man.
I was like, oh, that sucks.
Playing ice hockey had a lot of like rib injuries. You get hit.
You can't sleep right.
You can't breathe right. Everything is off when you have a rib injury.
Dude, it sucks.
And then when I was playing hockey, if it was light enough and the coach said, the doctor said you could play, it would wrap you. It was so tight you could barely breathe. But it sucked when you got hit with a rib injury. It hurt really bad, man.
Injuries, I don't know. Like right now, like dealing with different injuries and all this stuff, like shoulder and all that stuff. It sucks, man. Like just dealing with that stuff, it makes you feel like I don't know. There's a certain part of your life that you feel like you can take on anything, and you get hurt, and then the next day you're fine. Like you heal much faster.
Yeah.
These days it's just like you get hurt, and it's like I gotta go to physical therapy.
Yeah.
Like, and you're next to like 90-year-old grandma pulling on the band, and you're like, am I the same level? Like, it sucks.
She's
man.
in the same weight as me.
Yeah, like it just sucks. But like it's good to take care of yourself, man. Like you have to get stronger in order to fight those injuries.
Agreed. And I'm a firm believer in strengthening the tissue around the joint.
Yeah.
And getting your mobility back. Like that's just where it is. Like as you get older, that's like the secret to. It's not necessarily having stronger muscles. It's having your joints strong.
Yeah.
So you can, because I'm a firm believer that you can physical therapy your way out of most things, unless it's a super bad injury.
Even that, I mean, like, as long as you keep doing, I mean, there's a famous knees over toes guy, right? Like he had surgery on his knees, wasn't going to play basketball again, now he dunks again, right? Like,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like just in general, just being really adamant about exercising and strengthening. I mean, like, but yeah, at the same time, I'm not the greatest example because I'm not that. I do stuff to make my life easier, but at the same time, it's like I don't do enough as I should.
Oh, me neither.
To preach here and be like, you should do this.
Yeah, I can do like an hour.
It's like I
gotta
gotta talk to myself about that first before I talk to other people about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I do like an hour every other day. And I really need to get in my routine. I used to have a daily routine where before I would start work, there would be like 40 push-ups, 90 sit-ups, and like leg bends. I got to start doing that again because when I started doing the gym every other day, I stopped doing that. I was like, no, I go to the gym now. But I shouldn't. I should actually have that light workout every single day. And it should be a complete mobility routine.
Yeah, mobility is definitely.
Should be focused on my knees because my knees are the.
I do it now, like every once in a while with the gym that we opened here, the jiu-jitsu gym now has like weights and all that stuff, and they have like a lot of mobility stuff, and so they have the platform for, the wedge platform.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
really good for like
So
grabbing
good for
like
your
a
knees.
kettlebell and doing squats like
Yeah,
and
just
all
even
that stuff.
knocking out 20 just because you're on a slant.
Or they
Like,
have the
you walk
what's it called?
backwards.
No, yeah, they have the treadmill
Mm-hmm.
and walking backwards is definitely up there. Um, but they have the reverse hyper. You know that one?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
really really good for your back.
Yeah.
I tried it a couple times and it's like you feel it right away. It's good, but I definitely should do a lot more than I actually do.
Well, I mean, we're there's other stuff too in life, right? Like so just like, so that's my other thing is like, I tend to, probably like you too, I tend to take on many different things. Like, I'm do it all.
Yeah,
And I do half of it all.
that's definitely a problem.
It's the jack of all trades things. I'm comfortable in that space. Like, I like it. I like doing a lot of different things.
We went rock climbing this weekend. So
Oh, yeah?
it was my kid for scouts. They had the rock climbing merit badge, and so therefore, like you go to the gym and they go over all the knots, different types of climbing, everything like that, and then they teach you how to belay, how to how to rock climb, how to rappel, and he's doing it all. And then afterwards, it's just like go free climb, just do everything in the gym, experiment, and all that stuff, which is really cool. And so me and another dad are just sitting there, and he comes up to me and he's like, scale of 1 to 10. What are your thoughts on buying all the harnesses or the shoes, everything like that, and doing this every once in a while? And I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, 8? Just because everything that I do is like, I'm going full on, and I buy everything. And then he's like, yeah, I'm about there too. Like I was like, so then we were talking, it's like, it's not bad, like to just visit, pay the $20, $30, fee for the day, and then rent the equipment and just do that every once in a while.
That's
it's like,
it's
totally
like going to the
doable.
movies, man. It's like better than going to the movies. Like,
So
$25 and
yeah, but
everything.
while they were doing that, I just started like playing around with some of the bouldering things. I got a great picture for you. Me upside down on like a ledge, like you see that?
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Now I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I mean, it fall off, dude.
So I was like, oh, like I have the strength to
Yeah.
get myself up there.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cool. Like, and then you start like kind of learning more and more, and you're like, oh, I kind of want to do this, But then at the same time, you're like, I have 50 other things. I don't have time to do this. But every once in a while, like a couple times, just go and try out. It's a good exercise. It's
It
a
is great
whole nother-
exercise. Like, I never get past, like, anytime I have to, like, walk with my arms. There's something like it's
What do you mean walk with your arms?
like, just
I mean,
like-
I called you a chimp earlier, but what do you mean?
pull-ups, man. Like,
Oh.
I'm so big that pull-ups for me are usually an assisted type thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I need my legs all the time. So if I lose my legs on the wall,
Yeah.
there's no way. I'm talking like a rock climb. Like, I'm talking like in Pennypack Park.
Yeah.
Climb up the big rock. Like,
Yeah.
but it was never, pull-ups aren't my strong
No,
suit.
but like I mean, mine either. But at the same time, like using your legs, your everything,
No, it's-
just trying out different things, like from the beginner, and they have it all labeled. Like if you touch these holds that are like with the yellow or whatever, that's the basic one, and you only try to grab those. It's really cool, like to just go there and try to experiment and with that thing, and they have an auto belay thing that you can just hook on to your harness, and it does
That's
that.
cool. I like
It's really cool. So I do want to do it, but at the same time, it's like I know myself. It's like if I do that, I know I'm gonna get a new hobby, and I don't have time for a new hobby. So it's like part of me is like really restraining from.
Well, can't you just loop it into like the outdoor category of stuff? Hunting, shooting,
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing. It's like you can just kind of group it into outdoor sporting category of your life. It's just a couple. It's just
See, the way that I'm looking at it is like, okay, great, he got the merit badge, he did complete everything, and it's like, nice. Let's set up an event where all the kids can go and do this outside now, like with an instructor, and then I can be like, well, since they're doing it, I'll just pay one more person and do it myself,
Right.
and do an activity. I'm doing it with the kids. And let's see if he could. My son, he's done this a couple times, rock climbing. Like we used to go to the gym here, and then at camp, there was like usually like a 40-foot wall, and there was different difficulties and all that stuff, and he's tried them all out. He's done that many times, and but every time he's like, I just have a fear of heights. But then I encourage him. I'm like, just face them, go for it. I know you can. You've done it before. And he goes over it, and he faces it, and
That's
he
good.
does it.
That's a good thing.
It's amazing. Watching him is, dude, I swear to God, I love my kid. He's amazing. He inspires me all the time, because he's like, I was scared and I did it and I completed it. I'm like, dude, there's nothing more that I can ask from you.
This one of
Tell
the
me
that's,
that's not a freaking like tearjerker dad moment right there. Where
it
where
is.
you-
It's one of the best things
Yeah.
in the world. It's the two-way streets.
Best.
When you realize the two-way street, right? That aren't too many things that compare to those life experiences and moments that when you have shared knowledge, right? And then all of a sudden, also on top of that, you're teaching your son, your daughter,
Yeah.
how to do something. It's one of the best things. That's one of the best things I see whenever my kids, do something that I showed them, or I see something I taught them reflected in something they do in life. It's always a big deal, and I always make sure that I, like summarize it and talk
Yeah.
about it with them, because it's important, because I want them to do the same thing for their kids.
Yeah,
That's the point.
it's amazing. It really is. He's really cool. Like, I love my kid.
I mean,
When he was up there, like, so there was one where he had to climb up, go to the top, and rappel down. So rappelling is basically, so there's different types of climbing. One of them is like, where you have a partner from top. They call that, I think, top down or something like that, where there's a rope at the top. You have somebody at the bottom, basically doing the belay, which is, kind of like feeding the rope and keeping tension the whole time. And they're anchored into the ground. And then rappelling down is basically when you're at the top and you're feeding yourself rope to go down. So this way, you can rappel down and do that. And he was scared. He was really scared to do that.
You're like, don't drop me, man.
No, he has to hold on. I mean, he has a second harness that somebody is like holding on to, in case, anything. But he himself has to be the one controlling his descent. So he has the power to not drop himself, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's crazy, because it's like, like he has to have trust in the person backing him up, but at the same time he has to do it himself, and he did it.
Yeah.
First he was scared, and then like basically, once I told him like it's the same thing that you were doing for the other person, but you're doing it for yourself. Just relax your grip and let the tool do it. And I'm walking through. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. And he's down. And I'm like, oh, do you see? Like, once you, like, clicked on, like, yeah, you've done this before. You just done it for somebody else. Now you're doing it for yourself. It's amazing.
Rappelling's
Really amazing.
funny. You really feel like a commando once you get
Yeah,
the hang of
right?
it.
I love that.
It's
That's
commando
like my
moment.
favorite part of it. Any climb,
Red
like,
team go. Red team go. I'll be down in 3.
we need a window in the middle. Like, just come in. Like,
We could probably set a rappel up somewhere around here.
yeah, just build a 40-foot wall of my yard.
Man, I'll bring some. I'll get it just a quick 2x4 and plywood delivery. We'll put it just something up on a tree, and we can practice rappelling.
Yeah, not happening.
Well, see, if we were going to do that, then like we need to get the commando outfit. Like, I would
See,
want
here's
camo.
where you go again.
Yo, gloves.
No,
gloves with
no.
the fingers cut off,
Roger.
but the knuckles have to be cut out too because they're cool.
Roger, here's where I told you. You
My
go
hand can't-
100%. I thought I was bad. You're worse. But
that's just making it fun.
You won't be like, oh yeah, I want to get all the equipment for rock climbing. You're like, no, I gotta get in character.
Exactly. Right. So well, it's the same thing. Like if you're going to learn how to sword fight, then why not dress like a Jedi and do it with lightsabers, right?
I'm telling you, man. Like you go way more than 100. Like
Look, if you're going to buy a classic car, right? Why not just take that motor out of there and like put something outrageous in it, like a 454, something you have to bolt the tires to the rims because it's so fast that the rims just spin inside the tires. That's what you want. That's the level of fun. Wheelie bar. When you buy a car, if you're buying a fast car, you should be thinking wheelie bar.
no,
Yeah.
no.
That's
It's not. It's
you
not.
have fast cars. How can you not be a fan of this idea? You don't want to drive a car with a wheelie bar on track.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You should do. You're lying right
No,
now.
I
Yes,
don't.
you do. Yes, you do.
I don't
You want to go
like-
fast like Ricky Bobby.
Go fast like Ricky Bobby is different. See, that's the difference. Like there's so many different levels of motorsports. There's go fast in a straight line, go fast, go left, 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 left. And then there's like go fast while making turns and all that stuff. And there's all these different levels. It's like chess, man. Like when you play chess, you can play a classical chess of like, 24 hours or 10 minutes, rapid or blitz. Like there's all these different levels. Even though it's the same game, you're driving a car, there's different levels to it, and there's different people who like different stuff. It's not the same thing. I don't want wheelie bars.
So I was just thinking,
What?
like you ever watch chess boxing?
Chess boxing?
Yeah, have you ever seen this?
I think I did. But
So they basically put like two chess players in a ring.
Yeah.
They beat on each other for a minute.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And then
like
they have
the
to sit
Potez,
down. Well, like these guys, they really punch. You get punched in the face, like it's a real boxing match, and then you have to sit down and start playing speed chess for like 30 seconds. Then you have to get up and beat on each other again, right? So we could combine that, but we could do it with rock climbing. So you put a chessboard at the top of the wall, and the first one gets up there gets to make as many moves as they want. Then you got to climb back down after 30 seconds and climb all the way back up. It could be the same thing. We could combine it with motorsports, right? You climb up the rock wall. You get in your Formula car, right? And then you race around the track, come back, make chess moves, race back
you're
to the
going-
bottom of the chess.
It's 0 to 100 again. Stop it.
This, my version is more fun. This is why I don't have the patience.
Here's
to sit and
reality. Reality is like, hey man, let's take the chessboard while we work out and get a good workout in and make moves in between sets. That's reality. Not reality is let's put it at top of a mountain while we climb up, and then, that's what your reality
Like
is.
they have to be like stone pieces that are hard to move too, like life
Impo-
size.
See, that's impossible.
Do you need a hand truck to move the rock?
Is to come back to Earth and come up with realistic ideas.
So this is why I don't hunt, right? Okay, because so you can imagine if you invited me over, like, hey, Rod, you want to get a bow and arrow and sit in my backyard? I would show up with like a potato cannon.
You show up
Like-
with a full ghillie
like-
suit.
Like I would already be in your backyard, and you'd be like, "You're late." And I'm like, "No, I'm not," and I would just appear.
I can totally see that happening. No,
Like,
I'm not.
How long have you been here? Like,
Look
I
at
slept
that
over.
bush over there. See how it's waving at you?
I've been here for 2 days, waiting for this moment.
That's you, man. That's totally you.
It's like I gotta watch how crazy it gets. Like a tree stand, right? To me, in my mind, is a tree house.
A tree stand is a tree house. now.
Yeah, it would have electricity, a heater, Wi-Fi. When I didn't see any deer, I would be connected to YouTube so I could see other pictures of people that get to see deer on trail cams. I'm like, Jose, check this out. And I would just text you in your treehouse. I would let you share my Wi-Fi password.
How do we get there?
We're trying to come to the mountain, right? We've gone up the mountain. We're at the top now.
It's crazy, man. Conversations with you are never
was
dull.
like it was like when I was like, oh, let's I told him, let's get a new kitchen. It was
Yeah.
a 12-foot island. 12-foot island. So I wasn't thinking, I was like, yeah, 125 cabinets, 120 square feet.
That's your house?
In my kitchen, yeah. My kitchen is a 12-foot island with a prep sink. But what I what I didn't factor into it was how much that granite cost to cover all that space. It was so, yeah. When they brought it in, right? I was like, I purchased it, and it was costly, but I was like, this is worth it, right? Go have
Yeah.
it forever, right? So I was like, I think you guys are gonna have to bring that. They're like, we're not gonna bring it in the front. We're gonna bring it around back where your double doors are because it weighed like 800
Yeah.
pounds or something, right? And they had like 7 guys with them, and they had it on like this wheeled hand truck, and it took them like an hour and a half to get it up one step. They're like, we can't let it crack. Like it's case is a long time. That's how big it was in one piece. 12-foot countertop by 4 foot
In one piece?
In one piece, it was awesome. Just with the prep sink cut out, it was awesome.
I gotta come see your house, man. I've been to your house like on the outside.
Yeah, you haven't been to the inside yet.
You,
Yeah,
you gotta show me your house now.
yeah. My kitchen, the kitchen is by far the nicest part. That's what we spent the
I
most.
think your yard is.
We love the yard. I'm
We were
thinking
talking about this last time.
might outdoor heat it at one point.
What?
I might outdoor heat it. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? You know what I mean? Like it just like, I mean, really, it's just a bunch of fire you need, right? Just light a bunch of fire, but like a controlled fire, but everywhere. I'm gonna work on that.
Gonna work on that. Go for it.
Like,
Let me know when you're.
no, you know what I'll do? So it doesn't have to be in the whole yard, just around the seated area.
Yeah.
I just got to make sure I don't burn down the garden boxes. But I was thinking that like if I had like a gas line or something, I could have it run around the patio, and then I could have it like a gesture controlled remote where I just like raised my hands and the flames came up around me.
This is where you go 100 again,
But why not? It's like a
dude. We gotta get. I gotta get with your wife and just like ask her how is it living with you, because just having you over once a week and having these conversations are crazy. I can't imagine how your wife lives with you. Just probably ignores you at this point.
she encourages me sometimes. And that becomes a problem. So she's like, she figured out that if she encourages me to the end,
Yeah.
it gets so unreasonable and undoable
Yeah.
that I believe it can't be achieved. So she'll be like, yeah. And then you can get on top of the roof with your lightsaber, and you can have the blower, and you can be a Jedi that takes the leaves out of with the Force and your lightsaber out because I was like going to go up there with the blower and walk on the roof.
She's tricking you into gunners by saying dress up like a Jedi.
That's like a scenario. That's my scenario, right? Like that's how I want to do it, right? And
Oh Lord, that's amazing.
that's just like-
she knows how to play the game.
as like an example, you know, like but yeah, like if that's like cutting the grass, right? Like that's why I don't have a riding mower, because it would be the
That's why.
greatest riding mower that planet Earth has ever seen. We get a custom paint job, right? I would have a holster for a megaphone, so I could talk to my neighbors as I mowed by, because the mower's loud. They wouldn't be able to hear me if I just yelled.
Oh Lord, this is hilarious. No, I see. Once you start getting into that, you're like, because I was like, oh, once I do this to the garage, like I'll do that, you know, and all this stuff, and then it just never happens. That I've been wanting to remodel that garage ever since we moved in. I bought the paint, the epoxy floor. I say one of these days I'm gonna clear out everything and gonna do everything, and I just haven't gotten to it. It's like the rock climbing thing.
So you get like the
cannot
epoxy floor
afford- I
and
can-
paint, right? I'm feeling like you have like a Tony Stark basement over there potentially to put stuff in. Let's get a robot. Let's get one of the, like we can
I
buy
just
like
need
an
to
old.
buy like not buy the rent the the concrete grinder thing so it can like do a clean install. But
I'm saying, like, once you
I
have
just
that
don't have
nice
the time.
epoxy
It's
floor,
like the rock climbing thing. I cannot afford to take on something else because everything in my life is so busy.
dude, PTO, Christmas break, Tony Stark, basement. Done.
Can't. You have to have good weather for the epoxy floor,
Get the
otherwise
robot.
it doesn't cure.
Where the end goal is for you to have a robot that hands you things in that garage.
Can you be
Like
my
a robot arm.
Can you be my robot?
Hand you stuff.
Just name the robot Roger.
In the affirmative.
Roger, pass me a Phillips.
I was trying to teach. I always thought I could teach Maverick. I tried for like one day and then I didn't. I tried to teach my dog, my husky, how to, give me a screwdriver, and he just stole it and buried it in the yard. And then, like, anytime I would have if I have like the HVAC guy come over, he'd have his toolbox open. I'm like, you're going to want to close that because my husky will take all of your tools out and take them to the backyard. I found like he was like digging something up like a year ago. I found like a set of pliers and a couple screwdrivers in the ground. He took them. He's like, dude, they're mine.
Every time I had landscapers here and they forgot like a rake, and then I was cutting the grass one day and I found like a coal, the brand Steel, like for landscaping and all, like glasses. And it's like
Mine now.
They're mine now. Every time I ride them, I'm like, that one's Steel.
Free.
Free glasses, free rake.
Yeah, I have to say the same. So I started cutting the grass. Now I have my property in a space where everything I just have to weed and that's it. And it's not too bad. The weeding's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
My gardens aren't as big as yours out front, but it's not. It's doable. And the more stuff you
the
plant,
flower beds, yeah.
like the more stuff you plant in those flower beds, if you can't see the soil when your plants come up, you won't have weeds. As soon as they come up, they shade out the weeds just die. They just don't grow. They just can't have any sunlight. So that's my excuse for planting a massive amount of stuff.
The thing is that, similar to you, I don't like to plant things unless they have a purpose.
That's why I have vegetable beds.
So my wife put out up front too, just some fruit trees and stuff like that. So everything has a purpose, and I want to get rid of like 90% of the freaking bushes and stuff in the backyard. And I need to rent, like you said,
the chipper, man. The chipper, turn it into mulch in a pile somewhere in your yard. Yeah. Just let it compost naturally. Put it back onto all your stuff.
I need to do that because it's ridiculous. Like the amount of stuff out there that has no purpose and just getting bigger and bigger.
Keep a compost pile going.
It sucks. I hate the landscaping here.
You could even, if you like have trees and branches and stuff and you chip, you could even make your own mulch. That's really easy to do.
I don't want to make my own mulch.
It's not that hard.
I don't want to.
You could do it.
I don't want to.
You could do it. You got the big mower though, man.
I got the big mower because I got a big property. Like that's
the saying. Think of that kind of like a tank. Like you can attach stuff to the back of it.
Oh, I was looking at those
tractor
vac. No. The tractor vacuum. Have you seen those?
No. What's the tractor vacuum? What's this?
It's amazing. It's like a trailer that you hook up on the back of the mower. And the trailer has a small leaf and sticks chipper attached to it like a vacuum. And all you do is ride around and pick up the leaves, and it chips it all and puts it into this big, trailer, enclosed trailer. And so it's because every time I do with the little bags, I go one pass
and
and I'm full, and I have to empty it again and all that stuff. So I hate it, but with this one, it's huge, and I can just like basically go pick up all. I can detach the hose and just like vacuum up all the leaves, and it's not that expensive.
That's what I'm saying.
It's worth it. Because if you're gonna hire somebody to come do the leaves in this house, it's gonna be at least $500 each visit, and they need to do 2 visits per year. If I spend $700 on this thing, I have the storage for it. It's totally worth it, right?
Do it. You got the space in the garage.
I might be doing that. I might be buying a tractor vacuum.
You should just go full on tractor. Like it's a short jump, right? You have a shovel front.
See, that's
Get the-
I went reality.
the
You
claw
went
arm.
beyond reality. You can't do that.
You could get it, man.
No,
You could dig any hole you wanted to quickly.
no.
You can move any earth you want to.
Again,
You could drive
reality,
it. You could drive your
Roger
tractor
reality.
to your tree house that you hunt from
with the Wi-Fi.
with the Wi-Fi, yeah, and the electricity.
What would it take to bring you back to reality? Love your creativity.
Drive some tractors around. I don't know, like
It's not that much. Like it's an acre. Like it's not. It doesn't need a tractor.
be nice to have one though.
No, it wouldn't.
Snow would never stand a chance on your driveway with a tractor.
With the big plow,
Yeah.
just for 5 seconds and then done.
You're right, because it could take it right down to the end of the driveway.
No. See, what you do with snow is you get the blower out and you just blow the snow to the side.
Yeah,
when it's
if
nice and fresh.
Yeah.
With the amount of snow that we've been getting the last
used
couple
the-
of years,
yeah, I used the
I didn't
blower,
even
shit.
use the snow blower. I have a snow blower.
Yeah, I just let it disappear on its
Just
own.
let it disappear. Or even the blower, just like, and you're done. It doesn't collect.
Yeah,
It doesn't get
I didn't
icy.
even use it.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous.
We might have snow this year. We'll see.
This year is supposed to get a lot of snow. I heard like there was like this whole phenomenon that we're supposed to get a lot of snow. So let's see.
I don't want to shovel.
I got a snow blower.
You do have a snowblower?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just always shovel.
You got
Make the kids shovel.
yeah. But you don't
I got
have
you
much.
guys new shovels for Christmas.
Get out there.
No, I don't have a
You
long
wish
driveway
for a
like you
white
do.
Christmas?
Yeah,
Here it is.
guess who's getting exercise in?
You don't have a lot to shovel though.
Nah, it's just getting the cars out the driveway.
Yeah. That's
It's
it.
not too bad. It is a workout. It's like an hour,
Yeah.
but it's not that bad. If you go out like every like hour or two, it's pretty straightforward, pretty
Yeah.
easy. And then I just make a path for the dogs,
Yeah.
just to the grass.
Yeah, the snowblower is a must for me.
Yeah, yeah. Because you got the drive, you the long driveway.
Yeah. It sucks doing it. Even with the snowblower.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz you get to a point where it's moving a lot and then it's like gets stuck, then you have to get it unstuck and then it's just going up and down, up and down.
I'll tell you what. You give me your
Much
snowblower
easier.
this year, and I'll give you my shovel.
No, it's gonna be
And-
it's just work, I don't want to work. I want to
hear
sit
you,
down.
Yeah.
Like the pinnacle for me, like if I ever like be rich is for other people to take care of my yard, everything for me. Like that. That's it's like yeah. I don't want to do it anymore.
That's why I was having like I had off all week. Right, I took off, and
Yeah.
and I was like, it never fails me when I think about could I be off all the time? Like retirement doesn't scare me. I'm like, yeah, man. There's a ton of things I get into.
There is a ton of things, but at the same time, it's like everything just goes by so fast. Like Thursday, I had off Wednesday.
It does go by fast.
Let's see, Wednesday. What did we do? I can't even remember. I think I went to jiu-jitsu all day long, pretty much. But Thursday, cooking all day. Then we had the family over. Picked up my godmother. Well, not my godmother. My kid's godmother. She came from New York and she stayed with us. And we cooked all day. Then we had family over. Great, beautiful Thanksgiving. Then Friday, she woke up and she's like, it's like, oh, she went to go to the outlets. And my wife was like, well, no, like the Philadelphia Mills or whatever, it's like crappy. It's like, it's horrible. We got to go to Limerick. And I was like, look, it's Black Friday. It's going to be crazy. What do you want to buy? And she's like, oh, I just need like these socks and these different things and blah, blah, and all that stuff. I was like, if you're just looking for that, let's go to TJ Maxx, get you what you need. You're going to find great deals. It's going to be like many varieties. You don't need Black Friday for that. And she's like, okay. And you could tell, like, she was like, oh, I really, like, I really want to go. And so my wife goes, but we'll do whatever you want. What do you want to do? And she's like, I do want to go to the outlets.
So you went to Franklin Mills?
No. Went to Limerick.
Okay, yeah, don't go to Franklin Mills.
Well, yeah, like, I went to Limerick. It was like an hour
But
drive.
that's
Wait. It was an hour drive. When we're 5 minutes from there, it was an hour queue to get off the exit
really.
and go in. And we haven't even gotten to the parking lot yet. And you can't turn around in the middle. So I had to queue up to take the exit so then I can turn around and go back. And I'm like, I'm telling them, we're not going to find parking. It's going to be stupid. Like, and at that point, they're already, yeah, we should have listened to you and all this stuff, right?
You know what doesn't have a long line? Amazon.com.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%. And so I just turned around and came back, and she was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. And I was like, you should. You should. And he's like, he's just trying to make you feel bad. I'm like, yeah. Because I told you so. I could have been, but that was like my Friday, like pretty much all day. And then we went to King of Prussia to drop her off because my father was there with my mom, and they were going to take her to the station to go back. And so we met there. And luckily, I found parking right away and all this stuff, and we just went in for a little bit. Then we went out to eat, which we have tons of food in the house. I don't know why we went out to eat, but yeah, the point being that the whole day just went by. And
I don't go out on Black Friday ever.
I don't either. I used to, like when I was young, when there was like actual deals. Now
Since
it's
the
like,
internet and e-commerce was invented, I stopped going out, like, because it's just the same thing. Like when Cyber Monday became a thing, that turned Black Friday into the whole weekend of deals. So I just wait and look.
yeah, that's when you get everything.
Yeah.
But the point, then Saturday we had the rock climbing thing. Came home and I was tired, and I just like crashed again on the on the sofa, and slept, and then woke up and we just sat on the bed. Like, so the whole day just went out by.
Oh yeah, if you're out on Black Friday.
And right now it's like, yeah, Sunday I'm talking to you, but later on I gotta probably finish up the leaves and do stuff around the house. I can't.
I'm preparing to get back in the zone for 3 more weeks, and then I'm back off till the new year.
I gotta see how many days I have left.
I had
probably have
strategically planned. I was pretty good this year with it.
I had a lot of unexpected vacation time this year, but yeah, it's. I gotta say, I might have like 3 days or something
I had
like
a
that.
ton. I had a ton. So the first half of the year was just taken up for. I don't have anything to really take off for the first half of the year. That's just usually, it's just heads down and getting stuff done. Then when the summer comes, there's like a week there or so.
Yeah, but this year we had the spring break and all this stuff. We went vacation, then we went to Florida.
That's awesome.
Then I had to go to Paraguay unexpectedly. Then like thing with my father, it's a
That's what we
lot.
get all these days though. Yeah.
It's so good. Like every time I look at my days off, I'm like, I
yes.
still have this much left.
How?
Like, wow.
Is that right?
Like I'm pretty sure I took off most of the year.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like I love our company, but yeah, they still like I probably maybe have like 3 to 4 days left. So I gotta plan it out maybe how to get the most out of that.
Just do so. The way to get the most, if you have 3 or 4,
Yeah.
you can do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of Christmas and have the whole week off.
Yeah.
Because it's a Monday, Tuesday this year, I think, for Christmas and Christmas Eve and Christmas. And if you have 4, you could do 3 there. You could take the Friday before. You have a nice little break.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
back in the new year.
We'll see. But yeah, other than that, I mean, got to get stuff done around the house. There's
I'm
a
backed
lot.
up too. That's how I'm looking. I don't want to, but I have some stuff to do.
There's a lot to do. I want to clean my garage. I want to clean the
I do that too.
leaves.
That's a summertime thing for me.
Yeah.
I have
gotta-
one more leaf pickup left, and then I'm done.
Yeah, same.
One
Yeah,
more, I think.
I got one more, and that's it.
And I'll be good.
And I'm good. But yeah, it's a lot, man.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's wrap it up with that.
Peace out.
Peace out. Talk to you later.